Hello, I'm KHOU 11 Meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are looking at the latest drought index that was released earlier this morning. We're seeing severe drought just slowly spreading all around Houston. So now it's completely encompassing Montgomery County, Liberty County, portions of Trinity County, as well as Fort Bend County, even Waller County looking at that severe drought. So we are seeing more of those darker shades starting to increase, all thanks to the lack of rain that we have not received here across Houston for the past couple of months. It's been pretty dry out there. And as we look at the drought conditions off across Texas, they're not really looking too much of a concern out in North Texas, but still looking at the extreme drought in places along I-10 closer towards San Antonio. And so that's a new drought update. And as we look at the Houston rainfall, this is from the weather observation site at Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport. Usually for November, we've only received just over an inch and a half of rainfall. That's what we usually are supposed to see. However, we are a good inch in departure. But when we look at the year-to-date rainfall, we are supposed to get 45.63 inches of rain. We've only gotten 33.56 inches this year. That puts us just over a foot in deficit of that rain that we have not received for Houston. So we are pretty dry out there, and we do need the rain pretty soon, and unfortunately it's not much of it is expected. As we look at the rainfall outlook, it's looking like the more heavier rain chances are going to be off towards the west across the desert southwest. Houston's on the outer edge of that, so we could maybe get a few showers here and there. And this is from the Climate Prediction Center from November 19th to the 23rd, but we are expecting these cold fronts to usually bring the chances for some showers and storms, and we might get a dose of rain as we head into next week. But looking at that temperature outlook, it's also going to remain warmer than normal as we head into the end of the month. So this is kind of giving us a hint of what to expect as we get around Thanksgiving time. Hopefully we get another front that's going to bring us those fall-like temperatures, but for the most part, it's going to be warming up here across Houston. 82 degrees right now. This is as of 12:32. Sunrise was at 6:45 this morning. As we look at the weather story, that warming trend is going to continue with those above average temperatures, and then we're also expecting the return of those foggy mornings. So you're going to have to tune into KHOU 11 Morning News to get the latest updates as you head out the door, because foggy mornings are going to be the case for each the next few mornings as we're dealing with this humidity once again return. When we have those humid conditions during the fall and winter months, it creates a rather foggy forecast, and that's what we're seeing. Looking right now at Galveston, mostly clear skies. If you want to escape the 80-degree temperatures, you might want to just head to the coast, because they're expecting to remain in the 70s across the coastal areas. Southeast winds at 11 miles an hour. Folks are enjoying their time along the seawall, so I think I'd rather be in Galveston right now. Even though it's not too bad here across Houston, you might still have some good conditions to have lunch outdoors or for those outdoor activities in the later evening hours, but we are expecting a warming trend at least through the weekend. So looking at that hourly planner as we head into the rest of our afternoon, we're expecting those highs to be in the 80s, lows in the 70s. We're no longer going to see those 50-degree temperatures across Houston, so you're going to might want to just ditch those jackets and leaving them at home, because we are expecting t-shirt type weather as we head into the next few days into our weekend, going into this weekend. So as we look at the low temperatures, these are the temperatures that you usually see as you're heading out the door in the overnight hours. We usually see temps, we're going to see temps in the mid 60s, and that's really just not jacket weather for us. It's comfortable, but we also are expecting the return of those humid conditions. We have a high pressure system to the south of us that is going to continue to build across our area, and this is really just going to keep conditions quiet for the most part. So really going into this weekend, into Monday and Tuesday, this high is just going to prevent those weather systems up to the north. You see those low pressure systems up to the north. It's going to keep those away from us. It's going to keep those just further north and not really send us any cold fronts anytime soon. That high is pretty powerful going into the next few days. However, that high will start weakening and building back across just for more south of us in the southern Gulf, and that's going to open up the door for some of those systems to move through, especially as we head into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Weather models are hinting at our next cold front arriving by Wednesday, and that could bring a chance for rain and storms, as well as another round of cooler temperatures, fall-like conditions. However, these cold fronts have only given us these fall-like conditions, and it's only been cold briefly, only lasting 1 or 2 days, and then we're right back into the 70s and 80s. So it very well likely could be the case as well, but we could also get some reinforcing shot of cooler temperatures by the middle middle of next week to bring back those fall-like conditions. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that rain chance for the end of the week. Also, the humidity. When you have high pressure systems over the Gulf, it really just sends a surge of moisture our way, and that really is going to create those muggy conditions as we head into our weekend. So high temps are going to be just a bit warmer for Saturday and into Sunday, topping out at around 85, 86 degrees. I think once we head into Sunday, it's going to start feeling a little uncomfortable in terms of how hot it is out there or how warm it is out there, because we're going to expect to see those mid 80s for the next few days, and it's just really not expecting to cool down all that much, at least until the end of next week when that next front does arrive and bringing us some relief of those temperatures. However, like I said, modelers are not really in agreement with the timing of that system, as well as the intensity of how cold it could get out there. But expecting for the next 7 days, high temps topping out in the 80s, lows in the 60s, mostly sunny skies expected for this weekend. So if you are heading out to those afternoon activities or to those, they have the Nutcracker Market happening out across in NRG Park or NRG Arena, it's going to feel mostly warm, so you might just want to leave those jackets at home. It's not going to really be until Tuesday and Wednesday that we're expecting to see the return of those rain chances as we head into the start of next week. Might see some isolated showers, but other than that, we're just expecting to have this warm outlook to last at least through the weekend and into next week. It's just going to be mostly warm and a bit muggy out there if you are out and about and you're planning to spend time outdoors. But like I said, high pressure system over the Gulf, and that's going to continue being our weather maker in terms of just keeping things north of us. But we are expecting that arrival of that next front by the middle of next week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. I think our GFS model is showing that this system may even stall and not really move this far south. It still could bring us some rain chances, but the European model is a little bit more aggressive with the potential for some rain and storms, and that very well could bring maybe some stronger storms at that. So like I said, models are not in agreement, but we are expecting, they're all in agreement that we could see a front that could bring us those rain chances by the middle of next week. So as far as your 10-day high temperatures, just temps in the 80s, lows in the 60s for the next few days, but expecting the return of that rain or those isolated showers by Monday and into Tuesday. And of course, make sure to tune in later on this afternoon for the KHOU 11 morning or KHOU afternoon news at 4 p.m. I believe Chief Meteorologist David Paul will be giving you your latest news or latest weather headlines for the next stream.